And I'm very curious to know more about you and your art, and how did you enter this field of these illustrative works, and how do you go through it, and what inspires you, everything. I'm so curious.
I'm here to answer.
Okay.
Actually, you are becoming kind of one of my characters, because you have a hair that goes like this, and
Yeah.
it's cute, and I would really like you to keep it because it's a drawing already.
Giulia, show us a couple of your characters while just
Yes.
to start, so that we can start speaking on your and show everyone your amazing drawings and works.
Yes, actually, take us through your work.
Okay, but maybe because you are talking about characters, I just left on the floor some of my books. And for the Villa Medici in Rome, I draw 15 characters, which were the artists, and not only the artists, but also some personalities from the history of the villa and the Prix de Rome, which was and is one of the most important prize about artists in the history of France. Villa Medici is a place where since the 17th century, artists are sent from the French government, and at the time from the king, when they are good in what they do. So the Villa Medici asked me to write a book and draw it about the history.
That's no coincidence, because let me just say that Giulia Danna is one of the great illustrators for Louvre. She has done many illustrations, especially for kids, Les Petits Amis du Louvre, distributed by Louvre. She has done published by Le Monde. She is living in Paris and is extremely appreciated from her peculiar art based on these illustrative paintings and drawings.
Exactly. So the Villa Medici asked me to write and draw a book for kids explaining what Villa Medici is, and I had such a great fun. So the character, the first one was a Roman, which is Lucullo, which apparently lived there where the villa then was built. And then a cardinal and Louis XIV. And finally, you also have Napoleon.
Now let's keep this on, Giulia, because look, this is, you see, Giulia has this peculiarity of mixing. First, she goes with a pencil. She does a draft. Then she goes with China ink and with the color, which could be, correct me if I'm wrong, Giulia, aquarelle or oil. Is that it?
No, unfortunately, no. It's markers.
Markers.
All markers, because
Yes.
to me it looked. But the interesting thing is that if you look at the backgrounds, show the background, Giulia. This is collage. This is like you have added continuous papers and collage papers. So this is like creates.
If you see the white, you see the white of his face. This is the base. This is the paper, and then I add layers. One of my favorite drawing, but it's funny because here you have, that was a drawing I made for Le Monde, which was about a woman. He's an intellectual, and she was the first woman who was admitted to the synod. I think you say that in English, where all the cardinals reunite to talk about theology things. And so she was the first one, not as a religious woman. And so I think.
Wow.
So this is all layers, yes.
Yeah. But now I changed. I'm not working.
Show it a little bit more. Show it a little bit better.
Sorry?
Put it more in front of, yeah, that's it.
I'm not working any longer with acetate, for example. This is more old, and the portraits you see is directly on the paper. So I'm kind of getting more maniac, more precise, even more, because here already I had to feel the lines and be perfectly aligned with the paper on the back.
Yeah.
And now I also sketch this face and I do it straight.
So you work directly on the paper now.
Yes.
Right.
I don't use any more acetate.
Right.
The acetate in printing can make a light which can be not so easy to.
Have you ever tried silk screens?
No, I would love to.
You should. I think there's. I think it would be great for you because you could do like so many Andy Warhol style. You could do such a cool thing. And it's not that difficult.
I'm waiting to go to Holland for a stage.
A workshop will start on silk screen. We'll be honored to do that.
That would be great. I would come so.
Exactly. So this is my way of working, and I felt while I was using acetate that it was too much concentration on cutting and doing precisely things, because, by the way, I'm always trying to find how to color in less time, because for me what is important is the idea. Mm-hmm. So once I've done the drawing, for me it's already over. Everything is adding something more. And
this is a typical artist mind. The conceptual representations get overwhelmed very rapidly. So we have one concept, and then automatically while we are depicting the concept, there's another one that is overruling it. And then creates a huge state of confusion. This is the reason why most of the times then we start using alcohol and getting depressed.
It's also true that many artists just feel very comfortable in searching for an aesthetic, and they really enjoy it, like
all kind of aesthetics.
Painting. I don't.
Giulia, I have a question. I don't know if it is right or not. I have a feeling, because as you know, I'm Iranian. I know very well Oriental and East painting. And I was wondering, because your paintings, your illustrative artworks, they remind me of some miniatures, Iranian miniatures, old Iranian miniatures, and Japanese. And actually the textile that you use that for your characters that they have wear, and I wanted to know more about it. Does it have anything with this Oriental painting miniatures?
Actually, it's funny you're talking about that, because I really feel so influenced by the Qajar paintings.
Yeah,
the Qajar
painting.
The women, like the men as well, but the women mainly, and not only in the textures, as you said, because it's absolutely correct, but
composition.
Because of the face. For example, I don't have many eyebrow here, you see? Yeah. Now when the light is good, but sometimes when you take me in a picture, they disappear, and I look like if I don't have any.
But us Persian ones, we have very eyebrows like this.
I know. So sometimes I think that what I cannot have, I can have it through drawings. So every time I draw my characters, mainly my women, I just make them those big eyebrows, like in the Qajar's portraits, where women have such great eyebrows, and I love them. And plus, they have this side, which is so intense. And so often I can see many different sides. At the same time, they are like proud, annoyed, it's
Yes.
weird. I can feel it. I can feel it's not just an expression, it's a multi-expression. And for example, in the painting I show you about Napoleon, what I like is also this.
Do you have them? Show us.
I just shown it to you, but I can show you another one because
Show us another one. That's a good idea.
Because, like, for example, here I'm working on a character, and
Yes.
he's a king. You see?
Yes, on a horse. Yeah.
Yes, he's a king on a horse. I've got it colored, so you will see it colored. But what I really like is ordering his troops to kidnap a woman. So you see in his side a multi-expression, because he's bad, he's angry, he's not a nice person, but at the same time his side is kind of empty as well. So he's thinking, and while he thinks, he's maybe thinking he's doing something wrong.
He's aware.
Yes, I can see his thoughts.
Right.
I'm quite proud when I can do this, because I think that maybe when you work for kids, it's really nice to show them the reality of life, as much as we can, of course, because they're kids. But we are not just good and bad. We are such a mess.
There's like a variety of shades of gray between good and bad.
Yes, but shade of gray is a book title.
Is it? That's right. Okay.
Okay.
I had the right feeling.
I'm looking for the king's portrait colored. Where it is? Where? Of course, it's the one I don't find. It's typical. Typical.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I have seen it on your Instagram profile.
Yes, there was on my Instagram, cut it in two.
Mm-hmm.
And here are all his brothers' drawings, and I can't find it. No, ragazzi, ci deve stare per forza. I know it was here.
Put the brothers, don't worry.
So the brother is here, it is the sister.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah.
She's following, because the story I wrote, and that was supposed to be published by really the most important editor publisher in France. With COVID, everything stopped and have no news, which is really, really sad, but the story is great. And she's a woman who's very beautiful and who's pursued by beauty, because people cannot stop of giving her presents.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a metaphor of the consumerism, you know. So
it's a sort of Eleonora Vespucci.
sort of.
Right.
The Petite Amie du Louvre, the book, is a collector of a magazine I do. And each number of the magazine is about one œuvre d'art. And one of my favorite ones was about the portrait of Fatalisha.
Fatalisha, yeah.
And so I really enjoyed it. You see this?
Yes. Yes.
I like them, and I like.
So exotic, no?
Sorry?
So exotic. So there is. Tonushin was right.
These like, and then yes. On fire, you know. They just kill you with the look.
With the eyes. So there is a large expressionism in the works you do, and symbolism as well of what you want to say, what you want to transfer to your to the reader and to a kid or to anyone. And you have done as well workshops online and in for COVID with physical people, 2 kids, and That's a lovely thing, because you have this, artists, Picasso used to say, all kids are artists. Unfortunately, we grow up. What do you think about this?
I think that Picasso also said that he needed a whole life to learn to
Yes.
as a kid.
Yes.
And
yes.
I really feel that working with kids is a political statement, because recently I was giving a speech at the university here in Paris, and the student asked me, "Are you a feminist?" Because I do a lot of drawings about, if you want,
women,
feminism contents, and I said, I don't know. I always believe that feminism was kind of a fight, and I don't feel I fight. I'm probably a young feminist, but my fight is in teaching, because I don't think we can achieve anything by fighting. It's already too late. And every time you fight, you're imposing something to the others.
Absolutely. No fights, no punishments. There's the only thing we can do is intervene on future generations. We are living in a history which is already decided for us. The only thing we can do is make sure that future generations know better.
Exactly. So this is what I was trying to.
I'm so in agreement. Yeah, so much. That's the only. I always have the discussion with my girlfriend about racism in America and the U.S. and she's so upset, and I can understand that. And she always says the government is going to change things. I always tell her the only thing that can be done is change schools. Make sure kids don't,
Sorry, what did you say? Change kids?
Change things in schools so that future generations will not know about racism. Will live in will learn how to tolerate and how to live in absolute peace and unified.
Yeah.
So this is the way I think.
Sorry, I agree on the base of what you're saying, but not about this world of peace and unification. I don't think it's possible. I'm not fighting for this. I don't think it's possible. It's in our human nature of fighting, and of being one against the other, trying to impose ourselves to the others.
Will always stay, you think? Homo homini lupus.
It's our nature. What I believe is more that people can grow and become more aware of equal dignity.
Yeah.
But
there's always going to be an attitude, like Hobbes said, Homo homini lupus, to fight against each other. There's always going to be this kind of attitude.
It's more or less our nature, but the theoretical base has to be right, equal.
No, absolutely.
So the kids have to learn how to accept it. So our rules have to be fair, and I believe that now the rules are not fair enough. So I think that working for them and with them is about that. Yeah. Making a new generation that can be aware of how to do things fair.
Because if you think of it, Giulia, these generations are already much more aware than we were when we were young. Than I was, for example. I'm 45. I'm going to be 45 very soon. I see the generations of the 2000s are much more aware on environment and much more aware on tolerance and on a lot of things than, so, I think it's a progression that needs to happen in a healthy way.
Yes, and concerning the women topic,
Yeah.
The battle, I don't want to talk about it as a battle, but the battle can happen only in education.
Certainly.
This is the only way we can think.
Absolutely.
Things. All the rest, going and showing your breast and fighting and shouting and
it's marketing.
I won't say it's marketing, but I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. But
I couldn't agree more with you. I am so, you know, substantial things need to happen, not only exteriorities, let's say, cosmetics. Okay.
Anyway, I believe that.
Show us more women, Giulia. Show us more of your work.
Actually, I would like to go back about the Iranian things because, and I think you will enjoy, Carlo, because this is the kind of thing you like. Another thing I really like about the Iranian culture, it's hair.
Yeah.
Iranians have a lot of hair. Yeah. And I know it's a cliche. I'm making fun of it. But I'm kind of obsessed by hair. And I really like hair. So on my website, there are drawings called pelo, which is hair in Italian. And there are portraits of women with hair. Women or people that they look like women, but they're not actually are. They're maybe men looking like women, or you don't know. And the fact is that they're so proud about their hair, so proud. And this is also a work about society expectations. The fact that the society imposes you something and you don't know even why you accept it. And if you're different, you feel uncomfortable. So stupid, tiny things like not shaving your hair becomes a political gesture. And it's funny for me. And sometimes I just give a character and a plus just by adding hair. For example, now this guy I'm drawing, I'm just doing sketches to see how it can become. It's an history I've got in mind. This guy that talks with the bird, you see?
Yeah.
He's got just few tiny hair on his neck here.
Yes.
And this just makes it more human. And
more real.
Yes, I do remember that when I was a teenager and I started drawing just for my own, I remember me thinking, yes, but it's too easy to draw beautiful people, a beautiful
absolutely
person. And I was kind of obsessed of learning how to draw ugly ones.
Ugly people.
Yes. How can I do ugly one? And I was studying Leonardo's characters, the one they formed to say, wow. And now, when I also teach, I say the peculiarity is what is unusual. Like, for example, in Bronzino. In Bronzino, you see, they can have the character can have an eye that goes in the way and the other goes in the other way. It is beautiful. It's full of charm,
Yeah.
Or Parmigianino, the Madonna with the long neck. She's got such a long neck, like a little bit more than the one I do. But my neck, it's too long. I know it's.
But even Modigliani, even the whole Manierismo period, El Greco.
Bronzino and
El Greco. These guys were extremely elonged figures, and it's a different conception of beauty. It's not like the Renaissance one, isn't it? For example.
Yes, but the difference between Modigliani, for example, you mentioned, and Parmigianino about the long neck, is that because the way is painting, it looks like it was absolutely like this, that it's real.
Absolutely, I understood. Modigliani exaggerates.
It's kind of deformation. So I think that Bronzino really enjoyed in the peculiarity of the character, because he didn't draw always, I mean, Parmigianino, sorry, it was once. He made it once, the woman with the long neck, once. Maybe she had a very long neck. You know?
Absolutely, but for example, if you take the Dutch Renaissance, for example, if you take Lucas van Leyden, if you take Hieronymus Bosch, the great Hieronymus Bosch, people are not beautiful in his, you know, Hans Memling, who did the Martyr of Santa Lucia. You see, the saints are not beautiful at all. They're just what they were at that time. And Hieronymus Bosch, the figures, the saints, the humans, they with all these strange faces, or Bruegel as well, they're not beautiful. They're just what they are at that time.
Yes, but maybe they are not beautiful for
real
time. Maybe they were. I don't know. I don't know. It's just,
beauty is an incredible, fascinating item to explore.
Yeah, I think beauty changes for how you see the world around you. The beauty meaning of the beauty, it changes when you start to see the world in your way, and that the definition of, I think, for example, you were talking about Gajar's women. At that period, having mustache for women, it was beautiful. They adored the women. They have hair here, and it is unbelievable. But that was the beauty, and the photos are they have done many artistic photos of the women with the very ugly dresses and the mustaches and the
hair,
full of hair
on your sex.
Yeah.
Conceived as something very sexy and sexual.
Very sexy, yeah. Very
and
sexy.
Now the young ones, they think you have to shave it. And
let's mention an example on all of them.
Yeah, Frida.
Yes, and about
here was sexy, sophisticated, but beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Interesting concept.
Absolutely, yes.
So show us something more.
I was going to take some more tea. Okay, later.
No. Do you have those beautiful sexual one, those orgies?
No, I was thinking, for example, about this drawing I made for Le Monde. You see?
Yes.
It was about a South American state. I think it was Colombia, who didn't sign something about peace. Sorry, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And but him, you see his nose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly. I like the fact that it's not so proportioned. I mean, he's got a boxer nose and is big here. I mean, it's irregular, and I like it.
But because it's characteristic of him.
Exactly.
It gives his personality as well. It portrays his personality, no?
Yes.
Show us more.
No, these two are more.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Regular. I mean, they are two kind of beauty, and this is I don't know how you say in English. Kurdistan, a woman from
Kurd, the same.
Kurd.
Yeah.
And she is an European woman, and the one is trying to awake her and say, "Hello, there's a problem here. We're women fighting, and you're just in your
comfort."
Yes, in your comfort. And it seems like I'm doing only women portraits, but this one, you know her, I guess.
Yes.
That's Greta Thunberg, and that also was for Le Monde. The Monde
keep it on one little bit more.
Le Monde gives you the opportunity of doing something called carte blanche, which is a white page. So you are invited as an illustrator to express your opinion about something. So you do a drawing and you add a title. And I did this drawing using the metaphor of birds. So the eagle is obviously the United States, and they are staring each other in their eyes, having a kind of a fight, but it's a telepathic fight. They're in their thoughts, they're fighting. And she is protecting all these little tiny birds, and each one is different from the other. So it's the multitude. It can be conceived as a metaphor of nature, but also of all the tiny states, which are little compared to USA. So
so amazing. So the strong symbolism in this kind of works. So
and here you can see, you know, there's a paper, it's a collage, and this is a collage. I have a huge collection of papers.
The interesting thing is that you create a difference between your 3D drawings subjects and flat background, because the background, for example, if you see that ceiling which the subject was standing, it's like it's not 3D, it's like a flat paper. That's so nice, so interesting, because it creates like a difference between the subject and the background.
Thank you.
Using a collaged paper.
Thank you, yes. If I have to say, I mean, we're talking very well about my drawings and what I do, my work, but if I have to say, I've got to fail. Well, not only one, but one that really hurts my thoughts when I think about my work, and is the fact that I'm not very able in giving light, shadows. It's a really huge effort for me. And sometimes I ask myself, why you cannot see light? Why you cannot see shadows? And you always put everything in full light.
Yes, they don't have contrast, brightness, darkness.
Not enough. I mean,
Yeah.
like in this
That's why, yes, that's why I told you they similar like miniatures, because miniatures do flat, without shadows, without light.
And you see, here I made a little of shadows, and then when I was thinking about the drawing, I was thinking, okay, and then I will do on the trunks all the shadows, like when you're in a wood, and
you think you are not good in chiaroscuro?
No, I'm good in giving chiaroscuro, because I work with my crayons and I can do it. Up here you've got chiaroscuro, which is not. No, it's right. I'm not good in drawing shadows. Maybe because, Nushin, I'm really into etchings. If you see what inspired me, it's etchings. On my walls, I've got etchings, old etchings.
But I think your paintings doesn't need shadows.
I don't know.
I think so. I think this
like I would like to be able to draw someone facing a fire, like with the light that moves on the face. This I can't. I don't know why. Maybe once I will try. Anyway, about women, I also found this in my cupboard.
Wow.
And these are women that fight for us. I think there is an Iranian one, Nushin.
Yes.
Looks like Bahar, our friend.
And do you know the name?
Sabah.
Ah, Sabah, yeah.
Yes.
Great.
And she is Carola Rackete. Yeah. I really like this portrait.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
She's got this look, so she's so tired.
Lost.
Tired, lost, and she's so proud at the same time. And you see, she's got this mouth with the big lip here.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. With this peculiarity in her face. She's beautiful.
Giulia.
Yes.
Sensuality. Let's switch to that.
We've been already talking about sexuality by hair anyway. Huh?
Certainly, but you have depicted recently a very interesting series of works based on these bacchanals, these orgies, sexual, heterosexual and homosexual. Do you have them here? Can you show something? And it would be lovely to understand from you what you mean. What is it? Because what we understand is this again the concept of being open, of being free as well. It's something that we can capture in your works, and but we want to know more.
Want to know more.
Do you have it? You have one?
Yes, I do. I've got a few.
Wow. Oh, lovely.
This is...
So, yeah, show them very clearly. Yes. You see this multi-racial, multicolored realities of different peoples, different sexes. Please guide, keep it on, and guide us through it. Please.
So beautiful. All these men, I mean, I couldn't put myself into it because they're all men, but I love them. They're so beautiful and sexy and sweet, and so
keep it up and let us.
I keep it up, and I can't see, and the light is a bit bizarre. So,
no, it's fine now, and yeah, keep it here.
Keep it like this, yes.
Okay. But it's hard because I can't see you if I keep it like this. Anyway, actually I'm confined, I'm home, and I kind of missing huggings and meeting people. And so I said to me, Giulia, like for the hair, you know, the hair on my eyes, because you don't have them, just do it. And so I started doing drawings, and more I was drawing these threesomes, because they are, I was adding more and more characters to it. So that was the last I made, and there are actually 14. The game I play with my friends while I'm sending them the drawings is that they cannot see the 14th. Sometimes they cannot see the 13th as well, because they kind of hide it, and it's really, really funny. So my favorite one is the 14th. And actually I shown the sketches to a friend of mine who's gay, and I said, so what do you think about it? He said, yes, I think it's good, but I think you are missing someone licking somebody's bottom. You cannot miss this. And so I had this guy licking a bottom, and he's here.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fantastic.
And another thing that makes me laugh is this, the elastic. Because, sorry, I have to put it back, because otherwise I will.
Yes, put it there.
Put it on the table.
Yeah.
The paper is fragile. And so years ago, I worked for Flammarion, which is a publisher here in France, to make covers for books about sexuality. And so I made some drawings of people having sex, but hiding somewhere. I mean, like they were behind the bed having sex, under a table having sex, in a cupboard having sex. So you can normally see only the legs and not the entire scene. And when I brought the drawings to the art director, she told me, looking at one precisely, Giulia, but what are they doing with how do you call the la gruccia, the hanger? What are they doing with the hanger on the floor? I said, no, nothing. They're just they're having sex in the wardrobe, and some hangers just fell on the floor. Oh, no, it's crazy. And I thought, I don't know what she's thinking you can do with the hanger, because I really was not thinking about that. And since then, I realized that erotism is just imagination. What people think you can do with things. And each one of us will have his own fantasy, you know. So in each one of these threesomes, I put something you can imagine you can do something with, like the elastic. And so now every time someone look at the drawing, they ask, what do you do with the elastic? And I said, I don't know. What do you think you can do with the elastic? And even here, this is the one with only girls, you know. And it's funny because in here, she holds something, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. And all my friends looking at the drawing say, what is in here? I said, I don't know. What do you think it's in? They're drugs. And so they start saying all kind of drugs I don't know. And it's so funny, so funny. And also the little tissue here.
These drawings remind me so much of the joie de vivre of Cézanne.
Cézanne, yes.
So much. I don't know why. That was much less sexual, but still sexual. It was sexual for that time.
You are right.
But so much. Even a little bit the one that done from Matisse.
Someone told me that they look a lot like being inspired by Ingres. And I really do trust this, because the deformation of the bodies, for me, it's really from Ingres. Yes. And the colors, maybe because of the women in the saunas, you know, in Ingres' paint, the work. Anyway, let's show an heterosexual one at the end.
Wow.
And here, for example, you have a tiny ball. See, a tiny ball. And sincerely, I don't know what you can do with this tiny ball. And for example, you see here, this girl is taking off the shoe here. And someone said, oh, what are they doing with the shoe? For me, they were just taking off the shoe. So that's funny. And this is erotic for me. It's erotic. And by the way, for the editor in France about the sexual book, they want me to do 3 covers where you can see everything. Nothing hidden. Nothing.
There we go.
So no erotism. They didn't want any erotism.
Yeah.
That's great. But yeah, as you said, sexuality, erotism, it's something which we have got used through the centuries to hide. This hiding, it become the source of the erotism from a certain point of view. And it's so true. But this is another wonderful series we love.
Sorry, Carlo. For example, I don't know if you know the painting, the Fragonard's painting, where there is a woman on, how do you say in English, on a balance.
Yes.
And she's losing her shoe. Back to the shoes. And she's losing her shoe. And that was scandalous. A scandal, a big scandal, because you can see the foot, a piece of foot, and the fact that she was losing something.
Yes.
It's.
But if you think that, at the end of the 1800 or half of the 1800, already paintings, Le Desayuneur was scandalous because the naked lady was looking at you. Why she was just the fact that she was looking at you, they obliged Edouard Manet to put that painting in the rejected ones, les refuse, no, and that was scandalous. So
yes, sometimes it's in the site. I agree with you. For example. here, there's one guy
looking at you. Yes, this guy here. Yes, we can see him looking at you. That
and
makes
it's
it
like a judgment, because when he feels observed, he feels he can be judged. So it's kind of an animal you find in the forest, and it's unexpected. So you are going inside the intimacy of a scene where they all agree about what they're doing. And in this other one, she does the same, you see.
I love this one.
And she, and I put the angers, you see, as a reminder, And sorry, you know what? I found the drawings I couldn't find before. It was actually here where it was supposed to be. It's a typical thing. So here you are.
Wow, that's painting that you were saying. Very good.
Talk us through it.
And for example, going back about kids things, you know, she's being kidnapped. It's a violent scene. And sometimes can also say, yes, but you cannot show this to kids. What? I mean, kids, they are just bombed by violence and violent things and
obscenity.
That's the reality. She's being kidnapped, and that's part of the story. And if you think about the Grimm stories, they're so violent. So
yes.
And being scared.
Even Hans Christian Andersen is violent.
And being scared and afraid, I mean, it's part of life, and you have to go through it to become an adult and to become someone that can balance emotions in life.
Absolutely.
And about that, I can show you this, which was a drawing I made for Le Monde about being scared during the COVID.
Monster.
It's a monster that go into the houses.
It's a babalu. It's a monster.
It's a kind of babalu, yes. Here they're not papers, huh? You see. You can see in the transparency. That's only felt.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about this drawing a lot, because this is a funny point. I mean, I'm using a kid's language to talk with adults, because I'm talking about fear. And fear is something that hides in old in your young life, in your time, in your past. So I don't think actually there's really a language for kids and a language for adults.
No, but it's something that it's already done, because if you think of those geniuses of the Pixar's movies, animation, you think of Inside Out or the last movie, Soul. It's, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's those cartoons, those animations in kids' language and kids' image, but for adults, because they go deep in the subconscious. So it's something that it's really used, because there is some childish part in each one of us that is easily depicted by these representations, no? Lushin, sorry.
I don't want to say that it's not good, because I really appreciate some works of colleagues, but very often when you do illustrations for kids, you change the characters, like putting big eyes, a big mouth, or tiny legs, tiny arms. Yes, which is good. I mean, it's part of the game. I'm fine. But personally, I draw for kids as I draw for adults. And I want to show to the kids,
this is the word.
yes, how we are, how reality is, with a slightly change, you know. So I've been fighting to myself for a long time, saying to me, you're not able to do childish drawings. And I was trying to force myself. And at the end I said, no, you don't have to. Point, full stop, that's it. The language is the same, and they have to understand.
And actually understand.
They do.
They do much faster than us.
Yes.
They have no filters.